upset. And I don't blame them. Abduction is terrifying. I still haven't been able to suss out why talks with the exiles went south. Maybe these are poor circumstances for negotiation.
The readings on catchy are still spiking. The singularity is still a threat. We'll need the Ionians' help if we want to open that lock.
Researchers as the Inheritors said there would be. Didn't lose anyone. That's a relief.
I wonder if you might shed some light on something while we're still learning the language. This settlement is obviously well established. Over decades, if not centuries, but I see little in the way of weapon emplacements or true fortifications. Has there been no conflict all that time?
That's the gist I'm getting. The Vex are new, and the Elixni, well, they used to have a working trade relationship. Armed conflict is new for the locals. You got my favorite thank you! Nice work, Guardian. You reunited the Ionians with their loved ones.
The scale of this problem concerns me. Our forces aren't so robust as to defend this whole settlement indefinitely. The defense is fruitless if we can't stabilize the singularity. We just discovered a lost colony. This discovery changes how we see our own system. How many others are out there?
Guardian, someone's on the line.
You've made great strides in communicating with the Ionians. We've learned their language has multiple origins. Little wonder it needs such effort. Understanding comes not a moment too soon. Between the Elixni and the Vex, the situation here is unstable. And we have so much to learn from them. I followed your example in translating. Script first, then words. Piecemeal you recovered. Unbelievable. The advances this outlines in gravitational manipulation without the light. And that's only one thesis. I hope some of them at least will be amenable.
The destructive activity in the agricultural area is reading as deaths. They're the ones attacking the food supply.
Stop me if this one is obvious, but do Vex need to eat?
Not in the fashion we recognize.
Sounds like an empty life. Then this is just sabotage against the Ionians.
As if they weren't facing enough. The Nine, the Vex, and the Singularity ripping the planet apart. That's too obvious a coincidence to ignore.
The Nine what?
Simply the Nine. They exist outside of time, as far as we understand it. Difficult to confirm on the best of days.
Watch out.
pretended to just let me pass on by before you showed up.
Excuse me? The Vex ignored you.
Guess they didn't see me as a threat. What can I say? I have a friendly face.
Lodi, how are you so adept with the Ionian's language? You said you've been here a few weeks at best.
Oh, I was made for this. I'm a translator. I especially love languages I've never heard before.
There's the Vex. There's the Vex. Guardian, let's redirect and get that shield down. there's any data stuck offline the Ionians need.
It's incredible. Terms I recognize mapped to advanced concepts, prefixes and suffixes as used in agricultural science. We can use this. Let me do some analyzing, but this is a huge missing piece to understanding the Ionians.
Under the circumstances, what keeps the Ionians here? We could begin evacuation proceedings. They would be safe back on Earth.
But they wouldn't be home. They could take a piece of Kepler with them, sure, but it's not the same.
Homes can be replaced, but lives can't.
The Ionians might feel differently about that. This place is sacred to them. The universe determined they belong here. Singularity or not, we can't tell people to pack up and leave yet. Not without helping people who've been stranded from the rest of humanity.
Agreed. No one's leaving until we learn more. Lodi, those Vex, you need to know who controls them. Her name is Maya, the conductor. She was human once.
What's her objective?
On the surface, to return our current time to a more prosperous one. But her true motive is to reunite with her spouse.
Neither of those sound particularly sinister, but I take it it's what she's willing to do to achieve that goal.
Maya has an ability. She can control whoever she pleases. She's commanding the Vex, a normally leaderless faction. She's even taken hold of our allies to turn them against us. If she's here, she can do anything to get what she wants.
I know. The exiles have gotten into the, progenitor ship.
The remnants of the colony ship they arrived in. Any vibrational disruption could dislodge the lock and speed the singularity's growth.
Better be fast. Someone wants a shuttle port of that size to go up with a bomb.
The ship the Elixir have taken over. You're saying it's the very one the Ionians came here?
Part of it, anyway. What's left. They converted it to a permanent placement, but they still call it the progenitor ship. The mother of the Ionians. It's a source of all their tools. They put a little piece in every building. Every scientist gets a shot at the hull when they graduate. If the ship goes up, there's a lot the Ionians can't do. Do you have any experience with bomb disposal?
We've handled plenty of mines before. This shouldn't be a problem.
Style of ship is quite old. Even with only this much left, it's incredible. I haven't seen anything like it. The material could have been affected by the time anomaly here. That could account for the condition.
As a frame of reference, how old would you say it is compared to your ships?
Easily hundreds of years.
Oh.
That equipment sure looks elixir. Let's see if we can tease it through. Exile, Captain? We must be doing some real damage if they're deploying like this. That equipment sure looks elixir. Let's see if we can tease it free. And we must be doing some real damage if they're deploying like this.
supply for the settlement. Anomalous energy signatures. Good work, Guardian. The Ionians are safe because of you.
We haven't put a scratch on the House of Exile. The Ionians say the Archon's only out to speed up the Singularity's growth. He's just gonna throw more gas on the fire.
The Guardian will be able to stabilize the Singularity once we get through. There are too many problems, and all of them are connected.
You have no idea.
Unless you have any ideas, then we have to consider evacuation. Reunification with humanity. After centuries apart.
Centuries? No. No, them coming to Earth would be existentially disorienting.
Lodi, please don't mistake me. This is the Ionians' home. We have to believe there's a way for them to return safely.
And what if there isn't?
They found you so fast. My name is Oren. My name was Nasan R. Was Nasya Sawa. What do you call yourself, stranger?
Lodi, pleasure. Miss Oren, do you know something about who brought me here?
I know you will be elected to become something impossible. Your molecules have already volunteered.
I'm sorry, my molecules?
I was the emissary as you were. And will become the same. I quit, and it left me transmuted. I think if I can help you adjust, I can reclaim my life.
Emissary for whom?
The beings in your dreams.
I don't know what you're talking about.
fight?
Persimmon! Oh, yes! Lodi, you can help. Can you see down the valley of time? 2 minutes ahead?
I am very sorry, ma'am, but I do not know what you're saying.
Take your time, Lauren. Guardian, draw out Maya's Vex. The Vex signals Dean Rebecca provided are cloaked. Something's not right. Vex outposts are usually interlinked. Take these ones down first, and it will weaken the others in hiding.
Here's the Vex Ikora was talking about. Clear up the signals in the area, and bam! We have the location on a bigger boss. And we can use that one to get to the biggest boss. Let's go. Strangelet capsule at the ritual site Dean Rebecca told us about. Do you think it was there all along?
It's possible. The way the Ionians talk about dark matter, like even elementary particles of the universe contain a spirit in their way.
The capsule is vetiver this way. It's fading for me, but I hear the singularity as well. In the distance.
Like a groan. You hear it too?
constructing a theory. It needs work, but the nascent form is this. After the collapse, few people were leaving Earth. More recently, we would notice. And the Ionians are truly humans. I think they must have come here during the Golden Age. Maybe even before.
You keep saying that word. Collapse? I've never heard the Ionians say Golden Age or anything like it, but they mentioned a span of time that was good. Better? Yes.
You said your vocation was translating. Now that you've added the Ionians to your repertoire, how many do you speak?
Fluently 4, passively 9, only written 2. Not many folks to speak them with these days. I grew up speaking 3 at home, but learned the others in school. Here and there, anyone who would teach me. Those 2 written ones, maybe I can learn how to pronounce them. Anyone they didn't recognize.
More than that, the Ionians are the only ones who know anything meaningful about what's beyond the altar, and are willing to speak to us about it.
How do we protect them? They can't stay like this, but they can't go either.
Continued interference has been noticed.
The conductor. Even out here, anyone who stands in the way of restoring your new golden age ends up trampled. You're here to make things worse.
Am I? I understand our designs for the future seem mutually exclusive to you. But I have ignored the Guardians since Nessus.
What power does this Maya bear? It's hives and nausea. Whatever paracausality she wields is fundamentally rule-breaking.
You chase a villain of your own imagination. My rules are not against you. They are above you. Now, leave us.
Ionians haven't talked about it. When was the Golden Age?
It ended centuries ago. There's reason to suspect the Ionian ancestors arrived before it began. Imagine watching the world end from the edge of the system.
What world?
Earth.
When?
What do you mean, when?
I mean, what do you mean the world ended?
There is no way you don't know.
Stop.
How long ago? How long? When did the world end?
So many records were wiped out. We don't have an exact number. Hundreds of years ago.
They're gone. Are you kidding me? Just like that? There was an apocalypse, and it's ancient history, and that's it. I mean, didn't someone think to etch a date in a stone or something helpful? There's no time capsules, no bunkers, just gone? And I can't undo any of it.
Lodi. That would have never been possible. Surely you know this.
No. I don't know.
You're not the first person to wake up lost. I'll tell you what I tell the others. The Golden Age rose and fell. And then, so did the Dark Age. There were few of us then, and survival barely eked out. But we did. Humans live. We built a city. In time, there will be more.
There were hundreds.
I know. Can you tell me what you do remember?
What does it matter now? I'm sorry. I was... sorry. It's such a simple question, but I know. I remember stars. I used to drive out into the country to see them. As bright as they were hundreds of years ago. Oh, always used to take my breath away. Just looking up, realizing all over again how much more was out there that nobody saw. Guess the stars aren't such a wonder anymore. Out here.
There are still mysteries. identity is so tied to this place, to this work. I wonder if they would be happy if we evacuated them to the city. To take them away from it would be the same as if we left Soul and the Traveler behind. Our purpose becomes null.
I need a little air. Guardian, come find me in the temple.
Lodi, are you there? Everything okay?
No. I can't go back. How long ago was the collapse? Were any of you there?
No one alive was there. We can still see skyscrapers.
What cities?
None. The collapse was centuries ago, Lodi.
This is bad. This is extremely bad.
Lodi?
Just put the damn thing in the thing. I need to figure out how to word this. God! Just my luck. Of course it's broken.
Check outside. There might be another. If we can't get through, we're never going to reach the anomaly.
This is very, very bad. I could handle abduction, but this, I'm imperiled. I can't return. I have to abandon Odysseus protocol. Guardian, can you get everyone on comms?
We've cleared the path for the Ionians to approach their field study site once more. One of them said thank you to me as they were walking by. Lodi mentioned teaching them some phrases. He's been helpful. The Ionians approach science as faith, utmost belief and understanding through study.
Certainty, not in the result, but in the process. And in their faith, room for failure. The necessity of it to try again with new understanding. I think I should follow my intuition.
Lodi. I should form it. What is going on?
I want you all to know, at once, that I sincerely apologize. I withheld the nature of my arrival. It was for the sake of the place I'm in service to. My people protect many secrets, but now it's clear I'm too imperiled to continue this deception. I've concluded I'm in deep shit. How Guardians used to be just people who died and then were reborn. You said they forgot everything about their old lives. Maybe part of you knows you can believe me.
Out with it, Lodi.
My people and I discovered a signal in deep space, which connected to an object we found under our city. It brought me here. All the way from the space age before the collapse. I'm from the past.
How?
I picked up a phone.
I felt the ringing more than I heard it. The when and where doesn't matter anymore. It's all gone. What does matter is that the unknown was calling. Long distance. I knew if I didn't pick up that phone, I'd regret it for the rest of my life. But whatever was on the other end wasn't chatty. Reached out, pulled me through time and space. I should have been afraid. Because it was one horror show after the next. And I was skipping around like a needle across the record, jumping from track to track because of my will was not my own. But I wasn't afraid. Not of death. Not of aliens. Not of whatever this was.
Only the Vex have come close to time travel, but not like this.
Can you go back?
Not as Neon.
Orin's right. I don't think I can now.
You could have told us at any time. Why conceal the truth?
Protocol, I didn't know if I could trust you. In my time, I worked for an organization called the Department of External Observation. The DEO was trying to make contact with extraterrestrials, so we had protocol to follow in the event of abduction. That protocol meant concealing who I was and where I was from to keep my people safe, but they're all gone. I'm alone, and I need help.
Hell of a trip you hitchhiked. Sheesh. I've got a drink if you need one, kid.
Eons ago, the Nine gave me something. Said I'd know what to do with it when the time came. Now, I ain't above looking a gift horse in the mouth. But this horse, well, it ain't got no mouth. You've seen it. That haul I got strapped to the back of the derelict. Time came and went. I all but gave up. thought I was doomed to drag half a planet's worth of dead weight behind me until old Soul froze over. But listen, hero. Ever since we got here, something's been scratching at the back of my brain. The hall's acting up. I don't reckon I know what to do with it, but I've got a thought. You could go so far as to call it an inkling. You've banked a lot of motes over the years. Maybe it's time to cash out.
Is that Lodi's journal? He wouldn't just leave it like this. Lodi, come in. We found your journal. Are you there? He's not answering. Something feels wrong. Let's track him down.
Guardian, you have one new call.
Hello, Guardian. This is Lodi. Sorry to bother you. But I need to know if I'm losing it. Are you experiencing hallucinations? I was transcribing notes and saw myself. From 5 minutes prior, it did just what I had done on a loop, then vanished. Does that concern you? Guardian, I can't provide more context, but I also can't maintain protocol if I'm compromised. There's uranium jazz in my spine. Somebody's hand is using my arm as a sleeve. Wait, I hear a voice. Guardian, there's someone in my head. Oh. Yes. Perceptual cannon. Superior harmonic synapses. Quantum dimensionality. Well, Guardian? That concern you?
The signal's stronger here. I'm picking up a call and patching it through to your navigation display.
That voice in my head did something. Guardian, tell me what's wrong with my eye? Don't lie, okay? Oh, this is a sticky wicket. I'm seeing double of everything, but from 30 seconds ago, I need to get to another psychic slime.
Lodi, it's dangerous to venture into the Accord alone. Let the Guardian act as a mediator for you. House of Exile, you'll need to clear them out to interface with the slime corpse. Okay, Guardian. You're the one who can wield Kepler's energies. Give it a shot.
Whoa, wait, I'm feeling everything's spinning. Mr. Ghost,
Three's talent for weaving tapestries ever remarkable. This emissary has already made contact. Are you listening, weapon?
Who is this? You're speaking with the Guardian.
Primitive thing. I speak with the preemptive weapon.
Ah! Guardian! Something's in my head. Like we saw with the House of Exile. It must be the Archon.
We'll see if we can track down the source. Slime for a night. Hey! Are you sure this isn't going to make it worse?
Worse? It can't get worse. Do it, Mr. Ghost. I'm ready.
There's another mold. The Archon is definitely using these to reach through his followers somehow. We've seen something similar, but...
I'm seeing everything. Like I'm looking down in a valley. There's a strange ship. It's headed towards an eye. But I see earlier there's a robot leaning backwards. Stars. Oh, I'm showing you some stars. I see I see us at a stand in a city. You bought noodles for me to try. It's good. What are these? Further ahead, I feel someone else's bloodlust. I want my freedom. I can kill for it, but I don't know if this is me. And at the end of the valley, I see you, Guardian, standing by Lake Michigan. It's the future. So, something possessed me, rewired how I see time, and it wasn't the other telepathic alien we've met so far. All of my dreams are coming true.
That's one way to look at it. You're awfully calm for having someone in your head. If it wasn't the Archon, it was at least connected somehow.
It must have been that thing I saw when I arrived. I'm not human anymore, am I? What did it do to me? It's like I turned neon.
I hear you had a run-in with that Archon fellow. Or his cutouts, anyway. Apparently he's the leader of these exiled Elixni, but nobody's seen him in a long time. Real recluse. The Ionians say he can speak through the mouths of his followers. Like some kind of psychic thing. But that's absurd, right? Have you seen this little ventriloquist act? Huh. Well, I'll believe it when I see it myself. I suggest you do a little bang and burn to draw out their leadership. Once we know exactly who we're dealing with, we can do a more realistic threat assessment.
I haven't been very deep into the Exiles' Accord. They aren't fond visitors. This architecture seems a little out of the box.
We've dealt with Elixni houses before, but this does feel different.
Lodi, I need to be frank. I don't buy your story.
Yeah. Well, you don't know the half of it. If I wasn't me, I also wouldn't buy my story.
What do you know about whatever brought you here?
Nothing. I woke up here in a singed suit after the most insane fall of my life. It seems the local Elixni have developed a parallel form of teleportation. They're using dark matter to create portals. If we want to infiltrate their sphere of influence, we'll need that capability. Mr. Drifter says you've got the skills for a smash and grab, so I suggest we go loud. Get us a sample of that tech and we'll be in business.
This must be the House of Exile's new teleportation tech. It's mounted in an old cannon frame. That's handy. Scans show the power cell and space inverter have been tampered with. Those mechanisms have dark matter cores. They'll wear out fast. It looks like this mobile unit creates an entangled link between a jump pad and wherever you're aiming. Just be careful what you pointed at.
Good work out there. You've got some real moves. Normally, agents that skilled at wet work have checkered pasts. Makes me wonder how you came to be so dangerous. With expanded access, we can investigate those Elixni in earnest and find the truth about this so-called Archon. I've got some ideas on that. Catch up with me later to get started.
I've made myself a contact within the Elixni ranks. Apparently not everyone is happy with the way things are being run.
You little sleuth.
That's the idea. Anyway, there's apparently a power station nearby feeding a lot of juice into something off-site.
Got it. I'm reading high levels of arc energy. All right, Guardian, this has to be the house's power plant. There's a massive current moving through the cables around us. And gravitons.
My informant Kielsk tells me that power is going straight into a warship.
If we can get to a power plant's controls while it's charging their ship, we can send a lethal surge to it from here before it ever leaves port.
Crafty. And it'll buy time to hunt down the Strangelet capsule in the Accord. If we stop the singularity from expanding, stabilize Kepler, maybe they'll stand down.
Yeah, fair chance we talk a psycho like that off a ledge. He's a true believer in whatever psychos believe in.
They are taking us very often. We need to reach the anomaly.
Deathless, why have you come? Glimpses are seen of your actions, but your motive ever shrouded. When my house found Soul, saw the great machine with your world, we left in defeating peace.
It looks like this station is actually drawing some form of power from these native cytocolonies. Oh, signs of it generating.
This whole place is wired like a rat's nest. That's worse than my ship.
The Deathless was foretold. See how they must kill as prophesied. Kiver Sight warned me of this final test. I'll be resilient in my house.
Look alive, hero. They're piping in splinter mines. Crazy sons of crabs are gonna cause a damn cave-in.
You're on bomb defusal, Guardian.
Vask sure likes to talk, making a show of us barging into his house. Maybe we pull his moxie out from under him and he lets some intel slip.
Unless he sees that coming. All this prophecy talk. Back in my day, you'd kill a fella fair without knowing the future.
You think he's really clairvoyant?
Guardian, but a mine is getting dangerously close to detonating.
Okay, Guardian. We need to find a way to overload that control panel.
Once we do, the immense surge of current will wreak havoc on whatever warship the house is trying to power up.
Probably why they tried to blow us up. I guess they're trying to unplug. We should hustle up. I think you gotta roll up and do that ball thing. Go on.
Like vile Vex, the Deathless's violence-driven. They cannot be turned away by reasoned words. Only blood.
Mighty Archon, we hear your prophecy. The Deathless kneels before the Giver with your blessing. Just open the way.
Well, what now?
This was not our tricks. You conspire with metal invaders to keep us from the Giver. To draw our house into folly. Exiles with it, their death is fated to be reborn.
What's your next plan? Stand there with guns pointed at each other until someone gets cold feet?
So the Archon didn't take the bait, but he mentioned being kept from the Giver. Sounds like, despite their push to the Singularity, something's still cutting them off from it. That means we don't have to rush right in unless they make a move. Maybe there's somewhere else we can apply pressure.
You're a kid. Those things been shooting at you since you landed on this dump, and you still haven't pulled your piece.
That's right. Unlike you, I don't prefer a gun to solve my problems when questions work just as well.
Enough! We may have knocked out their power, but the Archon's still out there. We'll need to be ready when they make their next move.
You sure your informant ain't running us around in circles, Square?
Kiosk is risking a lot just to speak with me. And I vetted them, of course.
Yeah, you're probably right. All those ones that tried to kill us are just bad apples.
People aren't all one way or another. That's what makes this interesting.
I've been talking to that drifter fellow. Not a name I'd self-apply, but I like him. He understands what it's like to be stranded far from home. Anyway, he was telling me about these aliens who are giving the Ionians such a hard time, the Elixni. Apparently, they normally live on something called ether. Huh. Seems like you already have some experience with it. Interesting. The locals say these Elixni augment their supply with dark matter. Who knows what physiological effects that's having. Might be the reason they're so hostile. I suggest we assess their production lines. If we learn how the dark matter is affecting them, it might give us some leverage.
I've got some intel from my informant.
Informant? Well, well. First it's a contact, then it's an informant. They're taking a liking to you.
Maybe a way to help the house calm down and see straight again. I'm sending coordinates, but keep on that heading.
Lodi, Drifter, checking in. How goes your recon on the House of Exile?
The Guardian's handling the situation well, but Miss Ray, to be honest, I don't like this. There has to be a way to de-escalate the situation.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. I've been watching the house from the derelict, and they are one ruthless group.
Do they appear to be in league with the Conductor? That would tell us something at least.
In all my dealings with the Exile, she hasn't come up. I have reason to believe this Archon was a lone actor. Guardian, Mr. Ghost, should be nearing a refinery or some kind of drilling operation. Coordinates incoming. I think this is where they're processing their ether. Maybe we can disable their machinery until the Ionians can correct the process.
Okay, I see it from up here. Derelict scanners are picking up all sorts of weird gravity fluctuations, and a whole heck of a lot of exiles.
Orin says these trains are like quantum entangled objects, held in superposition across the fourth dimension.
Yeah, Orin says a lot of things no one understands.
We're through. Now to disable the Exile's dark matter refinery.
I wish it was as simple as talking to them. Last time I tried, I got shot at. And it wasn't my Lixney accent.
They get real touchy sometimes. Sensitive little crustaceans.
Guardian, I'm reading some highly charged energy through one of these pipelines. Lodi, did the Ionians ever explain why they stopped working with the House of Exile? From what I gather, it didn't end well.
I got to talking with one of the old pilots who gabbed on the subject a bit. Ionians tried to synthesize ether for the house.
Why? That's not a simple job. Leave it to those server garbage disposals. Matter goes in, ether comes out. Easy.
Except here, everything's imprinted with dark matter, which they apparently want to extract for a pure conversion to ether. The Ionians say it shouldn't be harmful, but the singularity seems to make it toxic to the elite.
exile is our teacher, our hope. Our rifles are many. Our will is anointed by the giver.
That's strange. It doesn't have enough juice to charge the relay. Maybe we can overcharge the cannon somehow. Guardian, it's supercharging the cannon. This is the house's central refinery. My scans are going a little haywire, but that can't be right. These pipes are operating at alarming pressures.
Let me fill you in on a little secret. None of House Exile's gear has safety regulators. My kind of people.
I've seen those little flying bots play hot potato, delivering dark matter down to your proximity.
Yeah? Guardian, a concentration of dense matter could send the whole system over the edge. Let's look for those shanks. I think we can fit under the grate with the pipeline. You were right, Lodi. This scans like dark matter, wrapped around an artificial gravity well.
Sounds like the type of thing that'd make a nice loud rattle inside some heavy machinery, don't it, hero? Oh, don't worry if it doesn't fit. Just jam it in there.
Pressure's increasing, but the pipes are still holding. We need more.
Incoming exiles. Crack your knuckles and rack your spine.
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but they seem intent on a fight. sound like he's crazed or confused. He has an agenda and a voice to wield it.
Seen a lot of those types in my time.
Maybe we could still reason with him. Lavask, the House of Exiles and the Ionians used to be allies. Don't turn your back on that. Let's look for a solution. Together.
Scholars hold our reception for their distant study. We will feed on the giver, drink of it, enter its horizon.
It's barely holding together. One more, Guardian.
Protect our ascension!
Well now, that went, great.
It did. We learned the house centers around this giver. Watch your flank, Guardian.
You feed their greed, speak their human lies. Ionians want us truth blind, to keep the anomaly's sight from Elixir's eyes. Our voice is a raised spear, arc sparking. See it against the black space sea. Our banner! We suffer! All suffer!
I came here thinking these elixirs were poisoned, needed help. But this... like a bunch of holy rollers.
More exiles between you and the exit.
This Archon has a stranglehold on his people. They're gonna follow him right into the grave.
Many possibilities, only one. A strike true.
Mentioned the Archon, Lavask, wasn't always the leader of the house. But one day he starts getting visions, next he gets a taste for politics.
A gift from his giver.
The giver and the singularity sound like synonyms, but I can't see how a black hole gives anyone anything.
Given what we know, my hypothesis is that the source of the holy singularity, as the Ionians call it, and the Exile's giver are one and the same.
Ikora, the Nine invited us here. It was 3. The thought just... it's like it unlocked in my head.
3 didn't just bring us here to deal with the Archon.
Agreed. What is the planet care about a single elixir? Either way, we need to neutralize the threat closer to the Ionians. I've seen leaders like Lavask before. He doesn't want a war. He just can't look weak in front of his people. Could we offer the Archon safety in the city for technology? I bet they have a solution to the temporal disturbances on Kepler.
You can't just shove a power-hungry maniac in the middle of the city and expect it not to go off. Reality is, your idea is the fastest way in the world to lose the last safe place on it. I ain't losing anything else.
I've heard a lot of saber-rattling old men say that same thing. They all had one commonality. Fear. Guardian, I have a hot tip from my favorite informant. That ship we cut the power to, the Archon's on it. We stopped it from being operational, but he's determined to get it airborne.
Wouldn't be the first catch you've stormed, hero, or the first house you've toppled.
I don't have the ship's location, but I might have something just as good. Goes by the name Prime Servitor, and they're holding the Strangelet we need. This will either draw the Archon out so we can deal with him, or at least weaken his authority and delay whatever he's planning to do to the Singularity with that Elixni warship.
All right, hero. If the kid's lead is good, the house shouldn't be expecting you.
My lead is good. Our Strangelet's here. I can feel it.
Deathless, you arrived, yes. As it was foretold. This is one of the fated clashes by exiles. House of Exile will defend it until the end. Sooner to die, sooner to ascend, and be cradle kept in the giver's embrace.